Yep, hit record. Maybe get some content up there. All right, man. Whatever you doing, y'all, it sounds like you on an open, dusty road.
I am on an open road. Well,
Okay.
open enough.
Yeah, like I said, an open, dusty road. Like there are lots of rocks here and there.
Oh no, there's no rocks. It's just my truck vibrates a lot. Big old trucks that don't exactly have the smoothest of rides.
Yeah, unstoppable but not silent.
Yep.
All right, so did you have something you want to talk about? Because you'll be in charge of the topics today.
Not particularly. Not particularly. David Gibson had a really good... I liked David Gibson's most recent video. That was really good.
Yeah, I like those. You know, I like them. And those are things I do those a little bit in all of my videos. But, yeah, David Gibson, he's trying to remove the stigma from everything. And I think everybody should go check him out, I'm gonna put that in the description.
Oh.
Sounds like you still waking up, like you've been up for about 40 minutes.
I wish. If it was only 40 minutes, I would be happy.
Oh man, so you had to like snatch yourself out of bed and get showered and get going.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would really like about Florida would be the constant chance of rain. That would be it.
Well, the thing with the rain down here is it's always very short.
Oh man.
Like, unless it's like a real bad day, it comes and goes in waves, and it's very short typically. So what we often say down here is, it's Miami. You can wait 5-10 minutes, and it'll be gone.
I see. That fucking sucks. Fucking cheese. I mean, dude, that's like two people getting ready for sex, and then just before laying down, the other says, "You know what? I'm gonna go watch TV." You're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
I ain't saying which is doing it. It don't matter which. It's jacked up. Okay. I guess I'll touch on a few things, I guess. Here's the thing. Elizabeth Warren is bad enough that I thought she still had some promise. She's killing it. And I mean in a bad way. What's going on now? She's saying, Elizabeth Warren, saying she's the most progressive candidate on the stages right now. Now that's not. Now I don't want to. Now I just want to eliminate knowing what we know. All right, about Elizabeth Warren, Warren, Sanders, Yang. I want to eliminate what we know about them and go with the first thing that jumped in my head. All right.
Yep.
When she cites that she's the most progressive on things, I thought about Donald Trump, who is the best, the brightest of anything. Hey, they say that you might be, racist. No, I'm the most not racist person on the planet. I'm the smartest person on the planet. You know what? No one respects women more than me. Nobody has the black vote more than me. Nobody understands African Americans more than me. You know what? No one understands the Middle East more than me. And what I don't know, I learn it so fast and know so much more to make your head spin. These are things that he has said.
Yeah.
So when one candidate can come out and say, I'm the most progressive, see, I was waiting on that. And I said that, I don't know, some umpteen videos ago, somebody's going to fuck up and say, I'm the most progressive candidate on the Democratic side. I was waiting on that shit.
Bernie's smarter than that. He's not going to pretend that he's the best of everything. No,
yep. Bernie doesn't even call himself progressive. He just says he's got progressive policies. I've got progressive policies.
That's the correct move.
Yep.
Because there are some things he's not progressive on. And honestly, that's going to be true for basically everybody.
Yep. It's smart. That's the smart thing to do.
Like bragging that you're the best at something is basically just saying, oh, I don't actually have confidence in the thing that matters here, so I'm gonna just say I'm the best.
Yep.
Like unless you are objectively the best, and by objectively I mean like stuff like sports. If your stats are literally the highest that there ever was, you are objectively the best, and you're allowed to brag about it.
Yep. I can't say anything. Can't say anything.
But if you are not objectively the best, then you're forcing yourself into a corner that you ain't gonna be happy with.
And that's what she's gonna do. And I'm sitting here like, now let's go with one thing. When you say you're the most progressive person on the stage, and yet you've been taking cues and advice from the most Republican version of a Democrat you're going to find? No, you're not.
Yeah.
You have hold on. Not a secret closed door. Now, Warren didn't have a secret closed door meeting with any big top execs. No. She had a closed door meeting with someone that represents the top execs.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the problem. You had a secret meeting with someone that's not, one, on the campaign, someone who legit has said, and it's on record, that she'll tell you, got to have your double wage. You got to tell the people what they want to hear, but I'll tell you all the truth because you know what you're doing and you can do what you want with your businesses. What the fuck? Someone who has voted for these wars, someone who has voted for the bank bailouts when I would have let the banks drown. You give these.
Well, I thought we lived in a free market. A free market means that when something fails, it fails. Who cares?
Yep, that's what happens. It just goes under. It's like, well, you fucked up. Too bad. So sad. Bye bye. That should have been it. Because
the whole competition thing, like, hey, you guys failed. We haven't failed yet. We're going to try now. That's how it's supposed to be.
If you're working on someone's AC unit or whatnot and it blows the fuck up, you're probably getting fired and you're probably getting sued. I'm just throwing it out there. If you're working on it, you walk away, you're like, okay, I've got all this stuff in place. All of a sudden, boom, and half the house is gone and stuff. You're like, oh shit. You got two choices: stand there and take it, or flee the country. That's it.
Yeah, basically.
So
if I fuck up at my job, I get punished for it. If you fuck up at your job, you get paid billions of dollars just so that you don't go under.
And see,
excuse me?
Yep.
Excuse me?
It's like, that's not cool. So then, so then you gotta wonder, what are the jobs of these politicians? What are their jobs? Because people forget, because see, people are so sheepy, they're so tribalistic. They don't think everyone in government is supposed to be doing a service for the country. This means since they force, now my ad, paying taxes is something that is supposed to be optional, but they force you to pay taxes. So they take as much as they want from you when they feel like it. So they're taking money from you to do what they want to do. This used to be, wait, if you're taking taxes from us, you're taking money from us, we own your ass. You need our vote to get elected. You need our money to get paid. So you need to do what the fuck we say. That has shifted.
Well, that's part of the problem. They don't need our money to get elected because they take the money of really rich people.
That's right.
That's why they're all about cutting taxes. Let's cut taxes. Let's cut taxes. Let's cut taxes.
And that's right.
I'm not financially reliant on you guys anyway. Who cares?
And what they did was shift the money. So now what the politicians do is, instead of they use our money to get paid. Yeah, the base pay and then to pay their staff. But primarily,
which isn't that high, but still.
Once they get that, then they vying for the big money donors. And then they shift the rest of the taxpayer money into paying these big donors, these hundreds of millions of dollars annually, sometimes bi-quarterly. And they do this shit ad nauseum, and that has legit killed our infrastructure. That right there has killed it, because now when you take the taxes from us, that means that tax money can't go into the state, which is used to build better highways, to make sure land is still safe, to go into new projects of transportation and new ideas of agriculture, which is shrinking anyway. So
yeah,
it's stuff like that.
This is how much a politician should be paid. A politician should be paid just enough for them to live comfortably in like a 4-bedroom house or apartment or something like that. And that's it. Like, if they can live comfortably there, they don't need all this extra money.
A politician should get paid no more than $150,000
Actually,
a year.
I'm gonna backtrack on that a little. Everyone should have just enough money to live in that kind of situation, because that's the kind of situation we're supposedly most for, right? It's all about family values. So everyone should have enough money to support a family. Ain't that simple enough?
What I would do. This is extreme. This is exceedingly extreme. Okay.
My body's ready.
A politician should be paid no more than minimum wage. That's it. Now, no more than minimum wage, but it's untaxed. Yeah. Now, here's the thing: when your pay go up, everyone else's pay go up. Now, how you gonna do that? You're gonna have to increase the minimum wage. But see, now, if anyone says, I'm going to be a politician, I'm going to get in there, and they say, well, I'm not going to do it because I ain't going to get paid shit, then that means you're the wrong person anyway for the task. The right person will go in there and be like, we need to raise minimum wage because I'm going to go in there and do the job, and people need to live. Because if they're getting paid minimum wage, you know who the fuck they're going to look out for? The bottom, lower class. They're going to look out for the lower class of the country. They ain't gonna be a fight about the middle class. There ain't gonna be a fight about the upper class. It's gonna be, we're gonna tax the shit out of you rich and wealthy people and you middle class people that are living so comfortably, and we're gonna work on boosting everyone else. So taxes are not gonna go up for anyone roughly that is middle class. It's not, because there's that level of empathy that'll be there. It's like, well, they're making money, yeah, but They don't need to take it from them. It's those that got so much money they couldn't possibly spend it in 2 lifetimes. We need to take it from them, because everyone that's roughly in that, tax bracket per se of lower class, they're the ones that kind of have that mentality.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that have not just that mentality, but they're the most racially divisive people. It's like, look, they'll tell you, well, black people ain't shit. Well, white people ain't shit. Well, these people ain't shit. Well, let's band together because Muslims attacked us. It's like, well, what the fuck? It wasn't really Muslims. And it's like, hey. They came from over there, and we all don't like them. And that's where it all is. That's that melting pot. That's where it is. So if you can fix that area, everything else by default will be fixed.
All right. Time for me to sidetrack with another really, really random thought that I had yesterday.
Well, go ahead, man.
So I was listening to TYT, and they were talking about Donald Trump and how he's calling some people never Trumpers and whatnot, right? And I thought to myself, Donald Trump calling them never Trumpers is actually the perfect framing, because that doesn't make it, because it's so absolutist that it hides the reality. It's not that they're never Trumpers, it's that all of his supporters are always Trumpers.
Yep. That's how you drive the narrative.
Yeah. Well, that's what you gotta do. You gotta invert reality and push it as fact.
Yep. It don't matter if it's it don't matter what it is or why it is, you just say it. And your supporters is like, yeah. I listened to Trump's speech on TYT Investigates, and I suggest everyone check out TYT Investigates. That's better. It's crowd friendly. Literally, live videos once daily, and they respond. And it's not because Jonathan Lawson said that he liked me. He likes a lot of people up there, kind of. But, I think I was like extremely unfiltered and stuff. But they showed this speech, and Trump is like, I can't remember where he was, but he was talking about how Democrats have, it was just full of lies, but it was like Democrats have pushed jobs out. You're doing terrible. You're doing terrible. You're just getting worse and worse. And then and it was so on a dime he turned. So on a dime. And he was like, You're great. You're doing great, but you could be doing better. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? And I'm looking at the crowd. I wanted to look at the crowd when he did that. Nobody batted an eye. Not one person was like, oh, what? I'm like, whoa. This dude, he's like, look, honey, you suck. You don't do shit for me. I don't give a fuck about you. But you're great. You're great, because you work so hard at what you do. And it's like, wait, what the fuck? Somebody should pick up something.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you get away with this shit? And a never Trumper, you know what? They're out there.
Well, here's the thing with never Trumpers. Here's the thing with never Trumpers that makes it actually acceptable. If you're saying never Trump, it's because you have some sort of standard that you hold him to, and you're like, oh shit, he just passed that standard. Fuck, can't accept him. There you go. It's that simple. But with always Trumpers, it takes that entire thing and just removes it. It says, oh, this is Trump. I accept him. I accept this like the good little sheepy I am.
It's scary, man. I'm like, now look, I want people to understand.
Oh, you want to burn down my house and rape my children? Go ahead, Trump. I believe in you.
He's obviously doing it for a reason. It's obviously going to keep our country safe.
Yeah, burning down my house and raping my children will totally keep.
This country got the Boston Marathon bomber, the DC sniper. You got the letter bomb package guy. You've got 2 other pipe bombs. You've got anthrax that was out. This country is full of, trigger happy, fidgety, meerkat level police officers pulling that trigger at every given stance, where they use the word resistance, meaning you're not following orders. That means you're resisting. So if they tell you to do anything, no matter how dumb it is, and you don't do it immediately, you're resisting. This country,
or my favorite most recently, trying to arrest you over a sandwich.
Oh yeah, when I saw that one, look, y'all need to watch those on the Masters Report. Kyle Kalinski's like, I don't know where I got it from. No, we know where you got it from. God damn it. All right, we know where you got it from.
Well, I believe him when he says he doesn't know where he got it from, because he said it was somewhere on Twitter, and then
And you know what you do? Hey, this person's on Twitter. I see this. Oh, let me get this. Who do I... Now, it could be a bunch of retweets, and you just... Okay, this person retweeted it. That's it. Throw it out there. Give them a little credit. Kyle ain't that far from a punk bitch anyway. I'll be honest with you. I ain't gonna lie. He talked bad. He's pretty much a punk bitch anyway. Look, I've been called out on a few things here and there in the past, and I addressed the shit. Kyle has been called out 2 or 3 times by Benjamin Dixon. He got called out when he was reading his chat by a few people. When he got called out, these people had like 1 and 2 and 300 upvotes. So it's gonna be at the top of the chain, and he won't address the shit. He's a fucking runner. He's scared as fuck. So, because Kyle, he was talking about, I don't do identity politics, because I'm better than that. So, okay, in the debate stage, everyone's like, yay! And then Benjamin Dixon's like, you do realize identity politics is what everyone else is doing, because there's really no choice. And so, and Kyle and Benjamin Dixon do listen to each other. And I know Kyle has heard it, but he hasn't responded because he's a little bitch. You need to address the shit. And then if you need to, have a so-called debate. That's about it. And I still say so-called because I listen to David Patman, Kyle, Benjamin Dixon, Tom Hartman, and it don't matter. And every time somebody's asking them, will you debate such and such, it's always, I can't wait to see you destroy them. A debate ain't about goddamn winning or humiliating somebody. And if that's all it is, then it ain't nothing but Twitter is vocal Twitter. That's all it is. There's no fucking debates. Some bullshit. And the never Trumpers, you know what? That's because they're probably not racist. They probably see through your shit. And they're not so blinded by their own racism and hatred and bigotry that, they just follow your dumb ass like a Pied Piper. That's probably the thing right there.
Yeah. Like, let's... The never Trumper Republicans are not necessarily good people.
Nope.
They are better than the always Trumpers because there is some level of 1 + 1 in their brain that's like, oh, this still functions to some degree.
Yep.
But at least they have that.
Oh my God. Going back to bed, woman. Oh, all right. I guess she woke up and she heard me talking and whatnot, and she had to come down the hall, and I'm like looking at her, and she just shaking her head, and I'm like, what? And she's like, I had to make sure you're talking to conquering thought and not losing your mind.
Getting you in trouble.
No, come over here and explain that shit. No, come over here and hear the mindset of Sidra. That's what I want you. Yeah, hear the mindset of Sidra. Let me stand up, which is something I don't want to do. Ah, shit, my cords. Okay, here.
I was laying in bed minding my business, and I heard Sidra start talking loud like he was doing a commentary. So I thought he was doing a comparative reasoning commentary because it was all boisterous and stuff. But then he started answering himself, and I was like, hopefully that's Conquering Thought on the other side. I'm just assuming that it is. So I came to check. He had his headphones on. Like, okay, it's cool.
She got a habit of talking low.
I've been laying in bed. It's early in the morning.
Yeah, I admit it took me a bit to get my voice up. It took a bit. Oh man, I'm not cold. I'm too dirty to be cold. I need a shower.
I don't know. You got that much of a layer of dirt on you, man? Like, what's going on?
I am somebody that
Are you insulated properly by dirt?
I don't do well with heat. I just don't. And once I get dirty, it's like, and plus it's humid in here now. So not only have I not showered, but I had the vaporizer. I think that's what we call it. The vaporizer going.
Humidifier.
And, see, he calls it a humidifier. You know, I'm gonna call it, the thing that shoots the water in the air.
Same thing. I'm just being technical about it.
And it's also muggy and stuff outside. Cold, but muggy nonetheless. So I gotta lay. It's thick in the house. It's cold in the house, but I'm dirty, and it's just woke up with like 8 films of sweat on me because it was so fucking hot. So I need a shower.
Yeah.
I assume a shower will help. I don't know. It usually does. So, I'm going with that assumption.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this channel. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do because...
Wait, which channel you're...
The one that...
This channel or the...
All of them. Mainly this one, though. Mainly this one. This channel, comparative reasoning, I vent, I rage, I do all this other stuff. It's therapeutic for me. I get to get stuff off my chest, and like I said, I was like, man, my goal is to get about 10 subscribers, and I'll be happy. And that was really before the whole adpocalypse. Actually, that was before all of that shit. 10 subscribers would have gained me, if all 10 viewed every single video every single day. At that time, I would have came out with about $2 or $3 every month.
All right.
I was cool with that. It'd be a little bit, and if I got more, it'd be nice, but I would be fine with just 10. Because I figured if I worked my nerve up, and fought all this anxiety and started doing live streams, then, if 10 people are up there, then that's all I got to worry about is talking with 10 people. So, I didn't want to get overwhelmed. So 10 people was just my thing. So the fact that I've got 153 now, I'm like, look, I won. I'm successful. I don't need to make all the gobs of money. I'm successful. I have made it. YouTube has made it that I cannot reap the rewards that I have made it. But I made it. I did it. So I'm cool. But also, when they say that they can do whatever they want and judge what it is to be a kid, I'm like, wow. Like right now, on my screen is the Final Fantasy 14 background, nighttime for Limsa Lominsa, in one of their Sleep City areas, and it's it's the dark area with the dinosaur skeleton and the little pink trees with the fuzzies, the little glowies going up and stuff. You can see it's all night and the windows are lit up. Yeah, it's that. They could say that's for kids. So this video is for kids. It's targeting kids, but you don't have it labeled for kids. So that's a $42,000 fine.
Damn.
That's how petty it can get. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The government isn't going to be checking each and everybody's channel. Just keep that in mind. That's not happening. It's Google. They're going to be checking everyone's channel. And probably, like, well, this doesn't fit with the government's COPA Act. So we're going to find you this. And that's how they're going to make extra money. They know that the great majority of these YouTube elitists, they make lots and lots of money. And it's not off YouTube so much anymore as it is their Patreon, their and other endorsements, actual business endorsements. What is it? Super Chat. That as well. They got donation buttons. They sell T-shirts, mugs, and stuff. So it's a business. And they're like, most likely you got the money, so we're mainly targeting y'all. But if others get hit, well, they get hit. We ruin their lives.
Yep.
And then you got to go to court. And if you go to court to counter all this, you got to have your ducks in a row, you know. And they're going to be like, well, you use this image, and that image targets kids. It's like, this image is a fucking background. If I was targeting kids, it would have been, you know, for kids. And it's not. It's like, well, you know what? Kids play video games. That's from a video game. It's for kids. And then that's when someone like me goes extreme, and I say some weird shit, which probably get me in trouble, where, you know what? Humans age and die, so why are you holding off? You know?
All right, you know what? I don't know why that reminded me of this. Like, it might just be let's just classify this as another really random thought. I got a little pissed at Kyle Kalinske recently over misusing the word nihilism again.
He said that shit. I was like, Conquering Thought gonna have an issue with this. See, goddamn you! Why don't you? You got a phone. Do your videos. Upload it. He said it. You know, throw out your little thing on it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like. What? Like that's just. Like I left my comment because I always do when he does.
Can you recall your comment?
But. Huh?
Can you recall your comment?
Not word for word. Basically something like, God damn it, Kyle, don't stop misusing the word nihilism, or something like that.
It's a thing because, you know, how are they gonna not misuse it when, in all honesty, you know, we went over the definitions of it. It's all fucked up.
Yeah, and here's the thing. He specifically. It's with TJ.
Wait a minute. Wait. Repeat that because you cut out. Repeat that.
All right. He doesn't really have an excuse because he's a friend. He's friends with TJ, the Amazing Atheist.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with TJ. There are a lot of things you can disagree with about him, but he is accurate when it comes to nihilism.
I've never heard him talk about nihilism. Never.
Well, that's definitely one of the few subjects where I would recommend him to you. Because, yeah, he still says he's a pessimist. He still says whatever, but he makes a very clear distinction. And he explains nihilism in a way that actually shows that he understands what nihilism is.
I honestly, TJ's too racist for me. I can't do it.
Hey, I get it. It's basically the same reason I'm not with Benjamin Dixon.
Benjamin Dixon is that serious call to black arms. He is serious.
Yeah. So like I get why you don't want to deal with TJ for the same reason why I don't want to deal with Benjamin Dixon.
Yep, and that's why I don't even recommend. I'll let you know what he's talking about. You know.
Yeah.
I'll let you know what he's talking about. You know, and here's the thing. This is the scary part. This is bad because it's throwing you out in the water. But it's like, if you don't, if you listen to Benjamin Dixon and then you don't like what he's saying or doing, then that's when it's good to make a video explaining why you don't like what he said or what he did. And that's the part where you got to have your shit in order so that no one can misconstrue what you're saying.
That's true. But here's the other half of that. Maybe maybe we just don't want to deal with them most of the time. Like, yeah, I get wanting to push back on that to like further society to some degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like walking up. It's just like walking into a Walgreens or a Publix or whatever, right? You walk into the Publix and there's this asshole. He's just like ranting about shit that you don't want to do. Like, man, all these socialists are the worst. Something, something, something. Communism. Something, something, something. Right?
Yep.
Something like that. Or let's just flip it and say, oh my God, capitalism's the worst. Fuck that. It just causes the downfall of humanity or something like that, right?
They out there.
Like you just flip it on the dime like that on either side of that, right? Someone being an asshole just out in public, right?
Yep.
You don't just go up to them and start saying, "Yo, this is why you're wrong." No. You're like, oh shit, I got. Let me walk to this other aisle or something so that I can, do my business and get the hell out of here.
Me, I would risk today.
That's how I feel about the online community. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's. See, and here's the thing. That's why I don't get into the drama shit with these online people. Like, shoe on head and their fucked up boyfriend or whatever the fuck he is, that armored skeptic cunt. I don't get involved with that shit. Dusty Smith, you listen to him, whoa, yeah. Look, Dusty Smith, I'll be honest with you, he's a scared little rabbit, but at the same time, he's highly accountable, and I can appreciate accountability always, because if you're accountable, then that means you're going to be honest no matter what. And he talks about the shit he's got in with them, and a whole host of other people, and how they've pretty much destroyed his life. And I get that, I get that, but that's too much drama. It is.
Yeah. It is.
I had a smidget, a infinitesimal smidget of that on Twitter, and it exceedingly pissed me off, and I wanted absolute unmitigated justice to the person on their knees begging for forgiveness. That's my hang up. I hate injustice. I fucking hate it. And listening to your advice, I let it go. I chill, and and as you said, it's going away in time. And actually, it has gone away until I remember it. Then it comes back about 5 or 10%. And I'm like, and that 5 or 10% in me is strong.
Yeah, just enough to have the need to let it out, but not enough to actually ruin your day.
Yes, exactly. Just to get it out, but it don't fuck with my day at all. And it's going to dwindle again, and eventually I'm never going to forget about it, sadly, because I'm not that type. I don't fuck people over and then forget that I fuck people over, which is what I do envy about a lot of people. I do envy that, how you can just fuck somebody over and then forget about it. Oh, my goodness. That's good. Because then you don't have to be worried about hurting somebody's feelings. You have to worry about, did you ruin somebody's day or moment? Did you come across as an asshole? And you just move on because you're a fucking sociopath. Fuckers. So, I learned the deal. That's what I did. Dusty, on the other hand, no, he hasn't. And I get it. The thing is, he'll legit pretend that he's gotten past it and gotten over it. But when you talk about it,
that kind of thing bugs me too. Like, just be human. If you've really gotten past it, you got past it.
Yep.
But you don't have to act tough just because I don't even know. I don't see a reason to act tough in that sense.
Because he's doing a live broadcast, and he doesn't want to come across as a weak little whiny little bitch in front of his audience, which is just toxic masculinity all in of itself. So it's like, dude, get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
The more human you act, I think the higher response you'll get from people. And those who are going to say insulting things to you because you show emotion, you know what? Hopefully they get weeded out by the people who will stand up for you for being honest about yourself. That's what I would hope. Last year, I think, or earlier this year when I did the whole appreciation for my cousin and on her birthday and stuff, I started to get emotional in that, and I was holding it back best that I could, damn fucking hard. But I'm like, that was a test video because I wanted to see who's going to be a dick or not, and whoever was, I was just going to ban the shit out of them. I was just going to do it. I was like, because the people could talk shit about me, but then once they see my face, then their shit talking level increases. Those people I would get rid of. So,
yeah,
because that's some toxic shit. Fuck you people. Fuck y'all. It sounds like you got into your
No, I just got to my exit. Still gotta do some traffic.
Also, what, did you get to a highway or something?
No, I'm getting off the highway.
Wow, because the truck got silent.
Yeah. Well, that's because I'm barely moving.
That kind of traffic. Oh, see, that put something random in my head. Have you seen that movie, The Car?
I have not. I have not seen that.
I urge you to watch that movie.
Well, I already have a list of things you have urged me to watch.
A lot of old movies are so good. The Car, oh my goodness. Have you seen the cartoon called Regular Show?
Sometimes. Not. Wait, no, I haven't.
You've missed out.
I was thinking The Amazing World of Gumball for a second there, but that's different.
I've seen some of those, and yeah, not bad show for multiple reasons I'm not going to get into. The Regular Show did an episode called Hello Governor, and it picks on the car, and yet things that just didn't make too much sense. But that's Regular Show. The full name is Regular Show. It's anything but. That's the whole name of the show. You watch that show, you can watch all the seasons because they've ended the show and people were absolutely sad over that. Regular show ending was like, you've killed our childhood at our older age.
You re-murdered our childhood.
Yes. Holy shit. What?
You revived it just to murder it again.
So if you do anything, find Regular Show, Hello Governor. It's really it's like Hello Governor, but watch that episode. Is funny.
All right.
Oh my goodness, this is. I was hoping more people would want to do, discussions, or conversing, conversing with, or whatnot, because just talking to people is cool. But when it came, to backtrack a bit and bring up the whole, the dude hollering everyone's a commie and socialist and all that. Today, I would honestly be interested in, if I had the, had to belch. And I had the memory on the phone, I would want to go up and just talk to him, be like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna record this, but let's have a chat, and I would just start asking them questions like, why do you think what you think? Where did it come from? Want to get to the heart of it. And here's the thing, it's a trap. It's a trap by me. Because when you ask people who can't think past their own nose to think a mile down the road. You can watch their brain melt.
Yeah.
And then when they realize that they're fucked and their arguments are destroyed, when you ask them only questions about themselves, then they do the one thing that exposes the business of their stupidity. They start attacking you. They're like,
yep.
Why do you think this way? Well, what caused that? Oh, so when that happened, what did you think then? Then, you know what? You sound like a commie. It's like, whoa, how? So communists ask honest questions, dealing with only the person that's citing the stuff in the first place? That's what a communist does? Do you know what a communist is? Because I'm going to tell you right now, straight up, I don't know what a full-on 100% communist is, but I can promise you this is most likely here, and we're probably living it, and nobody noticed it because, you know, capitalism is all. There is no communism here, so therefore there is none. It's like, no, it's most likely whatever. I'll be honest with you. Whatever the government is saying that they're fighting against, most likely they're trying to institute.
To some degree. I believe that to some degree, but like there is some level of like just non-self-awareness with that in particular, because they don't call it communism in that sense. They call it like socialism or something, because they do want to enact some level of socialism. They just don't want it for everybody. They want it for themselves, because that's how capitalism works. Capitalism is about who gets to stand at the top of the hill after defeating all the enemies. That is how capitalism works, just monetarily.
Yeah, capitalism is summed up best as. Oh, go ahead.
But once you're at the top of the hill, unless you're a sociopath, you want all your friends and family up there with you, and that's where the socialism comes in. So you start dividing the profits. You start dividing the labor. You start dividing the overall wealth amongst your peers. So you're at the absolute top, and unless you're a sociopath, you want socialism for everybody at that level.
Capitalism is best described as a pyramid scheme.
Well, no, every system's best described as a pyramid scheme.
Not necessarily. When you balance everything and no one can be poor and no one can be rich or wealthy, and everyone has roughly the same base pay and lifestyle, and no one can say, I have more than you, therefore I'm important. I have less than you, so fuck you. You know what? I'm sort of in the middle, so I don't care about either one of your fights. When you kill that shit and everything is balanced, So I'm like this. My whole thing would be, if I was president, if I was anything that could get anything done, I would literally be like, look, the price gouging, it's about to retrograde. That's what's about to happen. We're going backwards because you don't need all that shit. You don't need all that. You know, but the capitalists would be like, okay, stop the price gouging, kill it where it is, don't go backwards. But now the money that you normally would have been getting, how do we eke that out of everybody else? That's how you work within the capitalist system, which is why if you work in the capitalist system, you're trying to stop it. No, it's not going to work. You are corrupt by default. If you are a capitalist saying that you're trying to get money out of politics, no, that's not where it needs. It's not just politics. It's everywhere. You know, you can't just stop the price gouging and then not retrograde it. You know, if an EpiPen now $2,100, when they were already expensive enough at $600, when originally they were just $65, you need to retrograde it back to the $65. EpiPens can get used quite often. You need to retrograde it back to where it was almost originally. Retrograde everything back to roughly, I would say, 1985 prices. That's it. How much would this be if it was 1985? And then boost everyone's pay up to, I would say $17 an hour. That is the minimum wage. And then tax it so once anything you make over $200,000, it's just automatic, flat, straight up. Once you go over $200,000, anything over that goes right back into the state and or government to be used to do all kinds of gobs of great things. If you can't live on $200,000 in a 1985 level of financial market, go fuck yourself. Because back then, $50,000 got you way more than you'll ever need. At that time, $50,000, doctors pay, you were seen as upper class, lower upper class. Just throwing it out there.
Yep. Okay. I now have actually arrived at my destination, so that's a pretty good place to stop.
Alrighty. You get the outro every time.
Bye.